how does one get to peace when they're in the storm? How does one get
Good
there?
topic.
Right? Like, and that's maybe many threads down, but you get to the peace by sitting in what is true. And we already know the truth. The truth has never left us. The truth is our intuition speaking to us. It's our body sharing messages, right? And so what has been the conditioning that human beings have received for many lifetimes, if not, let's just say generations, is the severance of truth. The severance of the subtle body, that we are sovereign beings.
What is the subtle body?
The subtle body is the body.
Okay, physical body.
Is the physical body, feeling the feelings, being able to feel
emotions,
everything.
Yeah.
And knowing that they're messages. The messaging center, the messaging system of the body is the only truth.
Right.
And it ignites when we connect to nature. It ignites, we remember when we follow the principles of nature. The principles of nature are the only truth. Everything else is a story of a version of that based off of science, this, that. And all of that does is sever us from trusting ourselves and being able to listen to the messages of the body.
So you're getting it, like, I love what you're getting at, and this is super cool. So tell me if that I'm understanding this correctly. Science and human intellect rose up to the forefront and created, almost in a sense, a stronger separation, because now there is what is deemed to be an understanding of how the world works, right? We say, oh, we can predict the weather. This is how the weather works. This is how a plant grows. It needs sunlight. It needs water. And then there's this sense of thinking you understand how the plant grows. And it's rooted in a sense of like causality from this Newtonian linear perspective. And then that actually is the cause of the separation, because the truth is that everything is just naturally unfolding, right? And
there's many perspectives in that truth.
Right. That's the wonderful
in the linear,
thing.
Scientific version of the story, it's one perspective.
Right. And that is true to that being.
Of course.
Right.
But think of how closed that is. Think of how limiting.
Yeah.
Think of how it literally compresses the being down.
Yeah.
And forces them into chains, a prison of separation.
Yeah. Disconnection.
And all that it does is sever you from trusting yourself.
Yeah.
Trusting yourself.
Yeah.
And how do you gain trust for yourself? You sit in the principles of nature, because that is the only truth. We were created to create. The earth is our life force. And we have completely severed our connection to asking the plant, who are you? What are you?
Yeah.
We just know, and we eradicate species that are invasive because we think that they're invasive, and we do all these things. And it's from one perspective. When the truth is there's many. And we hear people talk about the real world.
Yeah.
That's, again, one perspective of one version of the world, when there's millions of dimensions.
Infinite.
It's infinite. And so when I sit in that knowing, how can any of that be true? What our conditioning has like imprinted on us. And okay, it's gotten us here. Fine.
Evolutionary purposes, one could say.
This is where we are.
Yeah.
And this is how a being can come to peace, is starting to listen to the truth. Stop listening to stories of fear. And you'll only know when it's true when you feel it, when you allow yourself to open up and come out of the mind, the thinking mind, and into the heart space. And nature opens up the heart space.
Yeah. Wow.
Sitting with the ocean opens up your heart space.
Yeah.
Same as all these other modalities and practices, but the true source, the potent source of energy, of true understanding of the human experience comes from nature. There is no supplement for that.
That's why we don't live in Las Vegas.
Or Los Angeles anymore.
Or Los Angeles. In the heart of the city. Where
any
it's
city.
Concrete
any
jungle.
City, really. Any city.
I'm just going to check the audio to make sure it's all running. It looks like it is. Hello! Perfect. One day there will be a being who gets to monitor everything, and for now it's me.
Perfect.
I love that, and I feel that that's a super incredible description of how one can find peace. I think we could go a thread deeper by maybe, how does one know that it's a sense of truth in their subtle body, right? Like, so I'm feeling into a past version of self that was once lost in the election, let's say, between two beings, a true left and right. Like I'm in the spectrum of left versus right. And I'm leaning heavily on one side. And I feel that this is the right side, right? And I'm like, this is the person, this is the truth, this is the right side. And everything else is so distorted. And I had this incredible, sense of distortion. And I didn't really have the awareness to feel that like I did. So let me tell you an example. When I was tuning into this, I was getting really anxious. I was getting like nightmares. It was super weird. Like the deeper I got into the election stuff that happened during like COVID and all that, I thought the world was going to end. Yeah. I was just like, holy shit, this is it. The grids are going to go down. There's going to be mass arrests, all this stuff, and just like, I was in a state of fear and I could feel that creeping up. And then there was a point where I was like, okay, I just need to let go of this. But there wasn't an awareness, a higher awareness of like, oh yeah, this sense of fear that you're feeling is not serving you. Where's the peace,
And it's designed to create this in you.
Right.
It's designed to keep you addicted to the system, addicted to whatever
choosing a side
is exactly.
Yeah.
Addicted to the duality, addicted to the separateness.
Yeah.
The separateness was created. Our indigenous ancestors lived in tribes.
Yeah.
We created this nuclear way. We created the nuclear bomb. We created
Literally.
all of these things. We created this reality. And so it is created to keep you in it, to keep you in one perspective, to keep you limited. It was created to sever you from nature. Nature is where it all lives. Nature is where the truth lives. And so in nature, there is no politics. And so when a being is in that state, what I'm experiencing coming through is you have to, the violent language, the opportunity and just the sheer awareness that you're feeling these feelings of fear, that is the start.
Yeah.
When awareness is triggered, when awareness comes into the being, that is the start of the unfolding. And then you get to choose how you want to feel. The human experience is not meant for someone to tell you what to do and how to feel. That is fear. That is oppression. That is not the curriculum of living the human experience.
It's like ultimate suppression.
Right? So when that awareness comes in, the best guidance as a practice to move through that level, because it's all leveling up, right? Awareness gets you to that level, and then you level. I don't even want to say leveling up because it sounds like
higher
hierarchy.
vibrational frequency.
Exactly. Shifting your frequency. And when you recognize that you are having nightmares and you're in fear and you're in fear, the opportunity is to say, I am no longer going to perpetuate or like participate in this fear. I will not touch it. I will not touch it. It is, none of it is true. Not an iota, not an ounce, not a morsel, not a fragment, not a molecule of it is true.
Relative to the highest truth.
That's it. And then the deeper your awareness gets, the more awareness you gain. This is how your energy field grows, right? This is how your awareness grows. This is how your magnetism, this is how it happens. This is how fast nature can support the being, can support the human experience. We were gone for 3 months. All of our roses died. We were back less than a week just from me loving them, pouring my love into them, attention, caring for them, watering them. They're all
I asked John, I was like, so why did they die, man? Attention. They didn't have attention. I was like, was it water? No. I was like, okay, got it. It was just attention. Incredible.
Right? So that's it. Making the choice, remembering, and it's subtle. At the beginning. It's such a fine line. Such a fine line.
It's such a fine line.
And the first glimpse of it is remembering that you get to choose.
Right.
You get to choose to turn the TV on. You get to choose to open up your phone and go into news.
Divine will.
Right? You get to choose.